Good, you are here at last. Now that you faithfully retraced your path, I ought to be able to manipulate the course of time such that you find yourself within the house, whilst a remnant self of mine sits on your father's throne. Ready?
Not quite. Shall this go much like on the summit of Olympus? The way you conjured up a vision of a time that could have been?
Well, I certainly believe this ought to transpire, as you say. Of course, that which awaits within shall perhaps be a little different in each instance that we venture thus.
Very well, then.
You are upset. Do take care. Welcome to my house. Insolent girl. I do not know how you last managed to escape from me, but you have gravely erred in setting foot again within these halls, thus giving me a second chance.
This is not your second chance, Titan, but your last. You are an aberration and should not even exist, not here like this.
If I may interrupt, greetings. In case the resemblance is insufficient, I am you. Yet I am also me. I know this must be difficult to accept, but my granddaughter is quite correct.
Grandfather, let me handle this. Knowing how you used to be, he won't be listening to reason here.
This foolishness, this mockery. You would confound me with these cheap illusions, whilst you deign to lecture me about what should exist or not. Begone! But I thought none could possibly resist the ravages of time. But you, how? You, my vestige, shall unfortunately never know. Now forgive this old man his transgressions. May time flow freely forward. Time cannot be stopped.
That's good.
Ah, there you are, my girl. As you have faithfully retraced your path, now I, in turn, may shift you to a different sort of time in which a remnant of the monstrous Typhon yet looms large over this very place. Ready?
No, not yet. What shall happen if I prevail, let alone fail? Are you certain any of this shall even work?
Well, I am relatively certain, yes. The visions I can conjure up of Asphodel. The principle of this is much the same, and you have likewise demonstrated aptitude at breaking free of temporal restraints.
So I'm to launch toward the summit, where I'll find Typhon's forces from another time awaiting me. I'll deal with him as I once did, and you shall do the rest.
If all proceeds as planned, then yes. I shall create a shift as you depart. Seek that monster and do battle, so that we may yet eliminate even the possibility of him.
All right then, off I go. Should work.
I cannot change the past. Go on then.
Almost there. To all my family on the mountain, let me pass. It worked. It's...
With the weavings of the fae.
Grandfather with the king and queen.
Granddaughter.
Now do you see, my son? Although the Typhon with whom you already clashed is gone, there could have been certain circumstances under which he remained. One fewer now, of course.
And how many of these circumstances are there, would you say, Father? For we cannot expect Millennium to battle to our mountaintop for all eternity.
Speaking of which, welcome again, my dear. We were just having ourselves a bit of a chat with your grandfather. We've not decided what to do with him as yet, you see.
Oh, hello, granddaughter. I had assured the king and queen that you would be victorious again, for you had been victorious before. Thank you for validating my theories.
Oh, you're welcome. King Zeus, Queen Hera. I can attest these possibilities of Typhon do appear to exist, having just found one with Grandfather's assistance and eradicated it.
Typhon is closer to a shade of himself now. The possibility of his dominion over Olympus has grown faint, and fainter still with each of your successes. But how many are required, I unfortunately cannot calculate.
And why not? Perhaps if we persuaded you sufficiently, Titan, you'd be inclined to answer in a more straightforward way.
I have but recently learned of these possibilities myself. Time is flowing freely forth for the most part. My granddaughter merely can ensure that there are no obstructions of concern. At her convenience, of course.
And I would see to that, however long it takes. By your leave, of course, O King and Queen. I ask that you permit Grandfather to carry on. Thus far, he's been true to his word.
We do have something suitable for you in mind, Father, but due to matters of security, our palace henceforth is to be sealed off. But anyway, perhaps when your mother resumes her yearly travels here, you may come visit again.
We've been such awful hosts to you, my dear. We never intended for any of this to occur. But we have pledged you our support before, and you shall have it for as long as you require, even if we bicker over it now and again. Goodbye.
Be well.
How fare you, little one? All right, my girl, this shall unfold exactly as before. You leap into the river, I ensure you end up in the proper stream. For old time's sake. See you later.
That's good.
Sister.
Now then, my girl, you know what to expect. Leap for the summit, all whilst I shall ensure you find the proper stream.
Looking forward to
I
this.
cannot change the past. Farewell. Just in time. Is it all right if I occasionally meet you thus, granddaughter? I know our prior conversations here in Erebus were fraught, but I would dearly like to start anew.
I'll have to learn not to attack you here on sight, but let's give it a shot. What is it about this place that's so special?
Well, it is rather sentimental, but this is where you and I first met. In our time. Now that my memories are all mixed up, it is a moment which I realize I cherish. I had already heard so much about you, seen you grow up.
It must feel strange to have known of me before I was even born. In any case, I'll see you when I'm closer to our goal.
I shall be looking forward to it. Greetings.
Grandfather? The wounds our family has suffered perhaps shall never truly heal, but you've at least tried to take some of the initial steps. So here, this is for you.
Oh, what a precious bottle. Thank you, granddaughter. Nectar from Olympus. But it does look rather good. The custom now is to provide some sort of gift in kind, is that not so? Then here, if you please. Say.
Grandfather, what of the three fates? You truly sent them into exile without knowing where they went.
Well, yes. Another terrible mistake I dearly wish to rectify. I'm attempting to locate them in the depths of possibility, except they could be almost anywhere in there.
There must be something we can do. Are they in any danger? And don't you fear reprisal if we ever find them?
I must admit I do fear somewhat more for me than them, but my attempts to resist the workings of the fates have never been successful in the past. Should they return, I shall accept whatsoever they may have in store.
We'll figure something out.
How fare you, little one? Why, this is very generous of you. The House of Hades had a relatively small supply of this, but in my rancor, I had it all smashed up. This bottle I'll be careful to preserve.
Please, keep it, knowing nectar is also to be savored. As for those other bottles, their contents would have soaked into the earth, so perhaps the house is a bit brighter now. One thing I've wondered, Grandfather, for all these possibilities we face, I understand what happens if I prevail, more or less. But if I fail there, what then?
Why, the possibility remains. Nothing more. Do not concern yourself with that too much. You know there are a lot of these to go around. You may not prevail in them all.
Will I have other chances to correct my mistakes? Return to the same possibility and clear it up?
I do not know. Perhaps not. Perhaps even your failures, as you call them, shall have the desired result. There is much I do not fully understand. Embarrassing as that may be.
I'm learning too. Moonlight, guide us.
Is that what you say? In time. This bottle's golden hue. I cannot imagine a more beauteous color, truly. I did not realize Olympus delighted in gold the way I do. Although you seem to prefer silver, granddaughter.
I always have. We work under the moon and stars. The sheen of silver reminds me of them. But gold now reminds me of Apollo, I suppose, and he is quite approachable, in case you haven't met.
Apollo, the musician. He seemed a talented young lad.
These are the possibilities of you whom I face. It's strange to speak with them as though none of this occurred.
Oh, very much so, yes. However, that is the reason they are possibilities and nothing more. Thus you may humor them before proceeding with the quite unpleasant bit.
And it doesn't trouble you to be involved. Personally eliminating something that looks just like you. That is you.
But I am me. For are we not the sum of our experiences, granddaughter? To reject one's stubborn old thoughts and ways, it can be quite invigorating. So let us carry on. I partook of the nectar which you previously gave to me, and my, such a wondrous flavor. And so I thought, I've not yet rightly earned such privileges from you.
It's not a privilege. It's a simple gift. It's not even the fancy stuff. You'll have to try ambrosia sometime, especially since you enjoy a nice golden hue.
Ambrosia, yes. Perhaps at some point I shall have opportunity to share in it along with this family. But that I know shall take considerable time. No more for now, please, granddaughter. Not while so much is left undone.
Some other time, then.
Granddaughter.
Good news, Grandfather. The three fates have returned. And they didn't mention any reprisal when it comes to you. On the contrary, they promised a new age would dawn.
Aye, but that is good news. Particularly the no reprisal part. And it is a relief to know the three have navigated out of temporary exile. But what is this about a new age?
Well, it sounds as though they're not planning to weave as much as they used to. And at some point, the gods apparently will hold less sway over mortals' lives.
But that is reminiscent of the golden age in which I ruled. Of course, once you've lived sufficient eons, you begin to see such patterns circulating constantly. That which is old becomes the new. How fares our family with all this?
I think we're all having to give it some consideration, though we'll have plenty of time. This age may not be soon.
Perhaps not, but even still, this age may arrive before you know it. Take it from me.
Time can move swiftly.
There you are. I always did admire mortal kind. I am pleased the fates decided they shall have a chance at doing things their way. I shall be curious to see what comes of it.
Prometheus must have wanted to work with you toward that common goal. Most of what I know of mortals is from the dead. What's the appeal of the living?
Well, it is simply that they understand the value of time. Some of them, anyhow. But they have so little whilst they live and breathe. It is a pity in some ways, but quite inspiring in others.
I do see that in them.
To think the task of vanquishing me almost fell to you. I am most fortunate that it did not, for I could not have easily resisted retribution incarnate. I cannot imagine who could.
Me neither, so don't try anything around here. And if you and the princess need another helping hand cleaning up after yourself, let me know. Been wanting to pitch in.
Then you have heard about the nature of our present course. There are so many possibilities which must be ruled out one by one. If you are truly willing to assist in this...
Might as well. Set my mind to it a while back and can get all the way to Tartarus, just not inside the house.
I can readily address that detail.
Tell me more.
Greetings.
Hello, Grandfather. Grandfather, Nemesis mentioned that she may have encountered you in Tartarus. How did that go?
Oh, very well indeed. I had presumed that only you would have capacity to face unwanted traces of myself, but as it happened, so can Nemesis, and she is very strong.
So she was serious. She confronted one of those traces with your aid and was able to prevail. What, did she hack him to bits with the Stygian blade?
Well, I prefer not to describe the details, but she used effective means. This must be possible only because she was so near your path before.
She truly did it.
Down in Oceanos, it is possible you may encounter remnants of my spell, which casts you to a vision out of time. I've not yet found the means to stop that one.
You have no control over your own magic. I wondered whether that was you or one of your less agreeable selves.
I cannot rightly deny your responsibility, but it is one of those, yes. And your susceptibility, why, perhaps it is some connection which we share. Resistances and sensitivities. Time.
Hello, Grandfather. How did you reawaken Typhon, Grandfather? I always wondered about that. And to have caught the Olympians by surprise with such a monstrous being.
Oh, I would rather not discuss such bitter memories, but that monster's reawakening was in some ways akin to mine when Zacharias found me. On a much larger scale, of course.
I see, and I won't press you on it, but this may be strange to ask, though did you and Typhon know each other well?
He was the father of all monsters, showing no concern for his own brood, much less others. He was a means to an end. We were using each other, one could say.
I understand. That's all.
Very well. How fare you, little one?
Have you made contact with Prometheus after everything that's happened with us? He and I never really got along, though I started to sense he wasn't really on your side.
He is intelligent, that one. Perhaps even too much for his own good. I regret that you were forced to come to blows, but he and I are no longer in touch. To keep conditions closer to the way they were.
He has navigated this situation rather carefully for all the trouble he's caused the gods. I suppose that all makes sense if he truly could anticipate every outcome.
That sounds like the Prometheus I know. Out of the woods.
Hello, Grandfather.
You have there the timepiece which I gave to you. I thought you would sooner cast it into the lowest depths. The ever-turning clockwork is quite fascinating, is it not?
It is unusual. Is this something that Master Daedalus originally made? To have fitted all these little wheels together so that they could move in perfect harmony.
The mechanisms governing the ever-shifting chambers of Tartarus were a source of inspiration, certainly. This sense of perfect harmony which you describe, perhaps it can only be achieved in such a form, but it can be achieved.
I suppose I agree.
There you are.
Grandfather, do you ever experience your old feelings of bitterness and spite toward the gods about your bygone golden age, anything of the sort?
There is no undoing past mistakes. I held to those feelings for a very long time. They shall never leave me in their entirety, but you have given me this other chance.
You seemed so unyielding, so certain of your convictions. Sometimes I still cannot believe the memory of a better past was enough to change your mind.
I was taken aback as well. My memories of seeing you grow up, they represent but a fraction of my existence, but an important one. Change can happen in an instant.
Well, may you stay like this.
Just in time. You have my children's blessings even now. I'm relieved they are still offering their aid, considering the crisis I created and the harm I brought upon their home.
It seems we're all committed to setting this right, such as we can. The Olympians are no strangers to occasional fights anyhow, although perhaps not quite as bad as this last one.
Yes, well, if we are to exist in this small world together for eternity, we have incentive to alleviate the misery which we ourselves create. I thank you all for the support. Your father and his brother Zeus were generous enough to give me an opportunity to be of some small service to the underworld. The Isles of the Blessed are the finest spots in all Elysium, and I shall certainly keep them that way.
That's a high honor you've been given, Grandfather. Some of the greatest mortal heroes must be there. Shall the new responsibility leave you with time enough to meet like this?
Oh, I should think it shall be more convenient than before. Elysium is really not that far. You shall have to visit at some point, once your father's underworld renovations are complete, which I suppose may take another age.
Father does seem the exacting type. Well, all the best in the new role. Fate's willing, see you soon in Tartarus.
Retrace your steps with care. Fare you, little one. I have a question for you, granddaughter, if you would share your point of view. Do you suppose I ought to permit myself to grow a beard? To fit in better with my children, I suppose.
Oh, that's largely a matter of taste. Personally, I think growing a beard would mostly make you look older. And my father and uncles aren't expecting you to be like them.
I do suppose that you are right. I always did prefer a cleaner countenance. Perhaps that is the very reason that my children opted otherwise.
I could see that.
Go forth. I know that you shall once again prevail.